The Buffalo Bills made a statement last night by dominating the Kansas City Chiefs on both sides of the ball. Offensively, Josh Allen had over an 80% completion percentage. James Cook was the first 100-yard rusher in 24 games against the Chiefs, and Dalton Kincaid had a 100-yard receiving game as well. On the defensive side of the ball, they held Patrick Mahomes to a career low completion percentage and also pressured him on over 50% of offensive snaps, holding an offense that was unstoppable coming in to 21 points. I want to dive into the film and break down how dominant Buffalo was in this game and what they did to slow down the Kansas City Chiefs, who were almost at full health in this game. Let's start on the defensive side of the ball for the Kansas City Chiefs, and everything comes down to this guy right here for the Buffalo Bills right now, and that is James Cook. And he was very good against the Kansas City Chiefs last night. Sure, he didn't run for 200 yards or anything like that, but his 100 yards were definitely impactful, and it opened things up for this guy right here, who said that's the most comfortable he has felt in an entire month playing against the defense. They kept things simple for Josh Allen, and they played ahead of the sticks the majority time against this Chiefs defense. I want you to watch all of these interior linemen here for the Kansas City Chiefs and see where the push is for this Buffalo Bills offense that allows a nice cutback lane for James Cook right there, and he's able to maneuver for 7 yards. What Cook is very good at is when he gets to a position, let's go right here, is that James Cook is very good at deciding whether or not he wants to go through here, whether or not he wants to attack a cut lane, and Cook has been very good with that, right? You have a guy getting pushed back 3 yards here. You got a defender, Tillery, that does a pretty good job of filling up field there. Karlaftis is getting absolutely bullied by a tight end over here, and then Amenahue has outside contained. So not bad there. You have Bolton who goes in this way, right? And Cook is just going to make the right cut because he sees a nice hole formed by his offensive line there with the push. And the push is a big thing that Buffalo had last night, and it causes a big-time gain right here. This is the very next play, and it is just another run play where the Buffalo Bills, I want you to watch these guys right here, the type of push that they get, and it allows James Cook to find a cutback lane and make a really good play on Trent McDuffie and get a big-time chunk play of 17 yards right here, already getting the Chiefs defense on their heels. It's hard enough to defend Josh Allen. It makes it even harder when you have a guy like James Cook and an offensive line like this who are absolutely taking advantage of a defense. Just watch. Let's pause the push right about here, right? This is the line of scrimmage right here. Watch what happens to the Kansas City Chiefs defenders, right, from that point on. You have guys that get pushed back over there, right, and it's just not good right now. And James Cook, all he needs to do is decide where to pick his matchups, and McDuffie does a decent job of trying to go outside here, but Cook makes a big-time play, resulting in a solid gain for the Buffalo Bills. Later on this drive, it is still the first drive of the game, and Buffalo is finally in a passing situation, exactly where Kansas City wants them to be. It's third down here, and ultimately they get exactly what they want. They get Dalton Kincaid on a linebacker and Drew Tranquill, and it is a walk-in touchdown, right? This is about as easy as it gets. And, you know, Kansas City, they love to bring pressure, right? Whether that's from Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquill, or even Noel Williams here, right? Josh Allen is going to have to decipher where his matchups are, and he does a great job. He understands that his man coverage across the board over here, right? And he is going to have a nice little decision to make, and he makes the right one here. As soon as he gets to this point, it doesn't matter that a defensive lineman's on the ground. He's got a perfect pocket at this point. He sees the matchup right here of Drew Tranquill and Dalton Kincaid, and Brian Cook is kind of in no man's land right now, right? That's an easy throw for an NFL quarterback to make, and it's a walk-in touchdown from that point with Drew Tranquill falling. Later on in the game, a similar story happens here, and this time it's for a different reason, right? Dalton Kincaid right over here, right? He's by himself on an island over there, right? But that's not what I want to look at on this play, as he's going to have a tougher matchup against a corner. It is this situation right here. And what is the biggest problem for the Kansas City Chiefs right now in their front four pass rush and not being able to get home without having to blitz guys? And you're going to watch on this play here, they do bring slight pressure, right? But it is just nothing, right? They bring four down the field. Drew Tranquill gets stuck on him again, and what do you know? Right, a big-time gain for a tight end there. I want to break it down right from this point, right about, let's get right here. Right, this is a similar type of concept we see the Kansas City Chiefs run against Lamar Jackson. You have edge rushers here, right? Chris Jones getting double teamed. You got a defensive tackle right here, and then you have a spy for Josh Allen, right? It is a zone coverage right now, so he has deep third. Tranquil is actually supposed to pick this up over here, and then you have a deep guy over here. So what you're going to see from this is that Josh Allen has a clean pocket right here, no pass rush whatsoever, is able to step up nicely. Tranquil is across here, right? No one is going to be there to follow that through, and then what do you know? Noah Williams does not step up, and Kincaid's in for a big gain, right? A lot of the time with Kansas City right now is they're not getting home with their front four, and it is forcing a ton of problems, allowing big-time chunk plays like this. The final play on both these sides of the ball that I want to highlight is just how good Joe Brady and the game plan was for Josh Allen to feel comfortable and easy for him, right? I understand how good of a football player Josh Allen is, but with the way they ran the football yesterday and the amount of stuff they had open with the lack of pass rush, it's about as easy as it gets. Watch on this play here. It is a simple pick play, right? And Khalil Shakir is going to walk for 20 yards. Everything was easy for Allen last night, and you'll watch on this play too the type of pass rush that Josh Allen faces against the Kansas City Chiefs in this one, right? This guy right here, Chris Jones, he's not the same force as he once was, and the guys around him, Mike Dana, right, Charles Omenihu, right, I don't know who that is right now. I got to go back and look. It might be Mike Pennell or Derek Nottie. They are not getting that front four pass rush from Kansas. That is actually Jerry Tillery, but they are not getting that front four pass rush. And it is a situation like this where you get a man concept or a crossing concept where Tranquil gets picked, Joe Brady gets him isolated, and then it's a big-time game. Regardless of what Spagnuolo schemes up with the blitz, the Chiefs are caught in too many situations like this because their pass rush isn't good, their linebackers don't cover well, and despite them having good cornerbacks, a good team that runs the ball well and stays ahead of the sticks can scheme up a beautiful-looking play like this, and that results in a 28-point performance from the Buffalo Bills last night. No one is going to talk about the first play of the game for the Kansas City Chiefs because while it was just a 3-yard game and they wound up going 3 and out in this drive, I think it set the tone for the entire game for this guy right here, Jawaan Taylor. I am not sure what happened because Taylor was on a solid 3-game stretch for the Chiefs, but this was the worst game I think he has played in a Chiefs uniform throughout his tenure here. He got beat for 6 pressures alone last night. His run blocking was horrible. I know his pass blocking grade for PFF was 39 yesterday, and you have this guy returning back from injury and Trey Smith and didn't have his best game as well either. And then you have Jalen Moore filling in for Josh Simmons, who is currently on leave right now. So you take a look at this play and you'll watch what happens here. You get in a pistol set, which the Chiefs really don't run that often, a split concept, and Taylor gets beat right away in what should be a pretty favorable game when you look at this point right here, right? You have a linebacker right here, a solid double team forming right here, and Travis Kelce is helping to seal there, and Jawaan Taylor just loses this battle on the inside, and it completely blows the play up. Whether or not it was Taylor or other players, this type of loss like this, instead of a 8 to 10 yard gain, it results in 3 yards, and it kind of kills a drive almost with that type of stuff, and that's how kind of Jawaan Taylor played the entire night last night for the Kansas City Chiefs, and it hurt them. A big conversation last night will be why this man right here did not get the ball enough through quarters 1 through 3 for the Kansas City Chiefs, and Andy Reid not giving him the ball enough. What was really good about this offense entering this week was they ran the ball on the under center more than they have in a long time, and it's worked out very well for them. I'm just going to play this play right through here, a split concept, follow Trey Smith, right? A big time 13-yard gain on this play, and it's great. It's awesome. It starts to drive well, right? And you're moving in the right direction. Let's get into the next play, though, where the same thing does not happen. The very next play, you have another run concept, but instead of going under center, the Chiefs are running an outside zone where all their linemen are going to go laterally, and they're going to have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who was cut from the New Orleans Saints, who currently have 1 win on the season. They're going to try to get him the ball and push around Jawaan Taylor, and it just does not work, right? They're running laterally instead of attacking a defense behind two of the highest paid players at their position, and Kingsley Sumayata, who's been really good this year, running the ball here and here or here, right? This is what works well for the Chiefs. When they go this way or that way, that's when they get hurt. And Andy Reid just did not understand that in this one, and he just abandoned the run completely because of a play like this gets blown up when you run laterally with a guy that runs a 4.8 40. It just doesn't work well. Like, running the ball downhill for Kansas City is what opens up everything, and then you can utilize all the other weapons you have in this offense. A lot of people will look at the box score and say this man right here had a horrible game, is a bad quarterback, whatever it is. You could tell in the first half their game plan looked fine. Mahomes looked normal. And what happened was the pressure eventually got to him and he started not going through his process. And this is a play, right, where they have to settle for a field goal because Juwan Taylor gets beat. Mahomes gets hit again, and it causes a throw to be a little bit high on a Noah Gray that has a chance at making a big-time play. Or Mahomes has to get it out a little bit early and figure it out from that point on, right? Juwan Taylor forcing these hits, and Jalen Moore, who wasn't very good in this one. Trey Smith allowed a few as well, right? Mahomes was fine in the first half. He was standing in the pocket, holding the ball as long as he could. He just kept taking hits from that one, and then it affected his play in the second half. While Kansas City didn't run their normal amount of RPOs, right, you're going to see this concept here, and then Worthy's going to pop out here where Mahomes can decide what he wants to do, and I think he personally should have let Hunt take this ball. Buffalo did a very good job of saying, hey, Kansas City, we're not going to let you do this today. And they got gun shy with it. Patrick Mahomes, ADOT in this one, 14.4. That doesn't make any sense from how they've been playing over the past few years and having a lot of success. And it's because of a play like this. Andy Reid got gun shy of calling plays like this, large part due to this man over here in Cole Bishop, who makes a great play. Watch Mahomes here, right? You're going to read the defense. See, obviously, I think he didn't make a horrible read here, right? I think Hunt has a window for a few yards, and you're relying on a one-on-one battle with the safety who is 10 yards off, but Bishop flies up. Xavier Worthy has nowhere to go, and it's just a big-time play where Kansas City, something they really like to do, they're not able to do because Bishop makes just a very good play on this one, and it negates it. So you can't win with a quick passing game that you normally win with. You're going to try to win when you're one-on-one matchups when you get them. First-round pick versus Maxwell Hairston, who is his second game in his NFL career, and he's just not winning this. And part of it, you're going to get pass rush right here, right? It's in Mahomes' face. Mahomes underthrows this a bit, and Worthy is just strapped up right now against Maxwell Hairston, who had a great game in this one. And Buffalo was just winning these type of matchups. Kansas City didn't win the one-on-ones they needed to. It felt like one or two players every play didn't win, and it caused plays like this where they're not getting ahead of the sticks on the first down. And that's the biggest difference between Buffalo and Kansas City is Buffalo gets 4 yards on first one. Kansas City would get 0 yards on first down, and it caused Kansas City to have a lot more pressure in high situations than Buffalo did, where it felt like it was pretty easy on the offensive side of the ball for them. As you guys can see in the film, it was a pretty clear dominating win for the Buffalo Bills and a very big statement that this team deserves to be considered one of the best teams in the NFL still, despite a little bit of a slow stretch in the middle of the season. What Buffalo does well is they stay ahead of the sticks with James Cook, and then they have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in Josh Allen, who can make a play when it happens. They don't need an elite, talented receiver core. They just need a strong run game and Josh Allen to make plays when they need him to, and that is going to be great thing for them long-term. Defensively, right, their strengths are in their pass defense. Their pass rush is elite. They got multiple guys off the edge, Espinosa, Greg Rousseau, Joey Bosa. Like, they have multiple players off the edge that can beat you now. And they also have a guy in Maxwell Hairston who's shown really well through 2 games. Cole Bishop stepped up last night. They have a good pass defense, and their weakness is their run defense, which Kansas City is not really built to exploit right now against the Buffalo Bills right now, unless they make a move at the running back position and Andy Reid changes his philosophy, right? Then this is why Buffalo did this. Their whole goal is to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and that is the way their roster is constructed. Now you look at Kansas City's side of things, right? They definitely have some ways to go. They're 5-4 right now. Josh Simmons is finally reported to the team facility, and they get their left tackle back, right? And their offensive line was horrible in this one. They have not been that bad much since the first few weeks of the season. I expect them to be better down the stretch here, but Kansas City has to look themselves in the mirror, and they're now 0-4 in one-score games, but it is not a significant fix. It is a few plays here and there that this team needs to clean up, and Andy Reid and Spags did not have their best game plan overall in this one against the Bills, and they got beat because of it. The Chiefs have an incredibly tough schedule right now, but they're 5-4. They're favored in every single game to close out the season, and I would not be surprised if this team still wins the AFC West with Josh Simmons coming back and a full rejuvenated Kansas City Chiefs team on a mission in the second half of the year. We're going to get Chiefs and Bills in the playoffs again. It is just going to be a matter of whether or not Andy Reid will commit to the running game and make an adjustment against this Buffalo Bills team that we've seen him do before, or will the Bills' pass defense just be too good and Kansas City just doesn't make the proper adjustments to beat Buffalo when it matters in the postseason. I also think that if the Chiefs do not add a pass rusher potentially, it is going to be a high-scoring affair when these two teams meet in the postseason, because that is the clear weakness on this Chiefs defense. Drop it down in the comments below where you think both these teams will finish the NFL season and whether or not one of them will take home the Super Bowl, as they are the two odds on favorites right now. Chiefs and Bills run the NFL because they got the two best quarterbacks in the NFL. If you enjoyed this video, though, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time on Blitz Sports Media.